Bienvenidos todos. Welcome to season 2 of the Sigue Adelante podcast. I hope you guys had an amazing new year. I hope this year brings you a lot of success, joy, great memories, and great health. Today we are here at the Paleta Bar with the owner herself, Karina. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
I'm
Thank
really
you so much
excited.
for being here.
Yeah.
If you could talk a little bit about the Paleta Bar.
But Paleta Bar and what Paleta Bar is. Yes. So Paleta Bar, we are in Wildomar. We do gourmet paletas that can be customized. So you come in, you choose your paleta, you choose your chocolate, you choose your toppings, you make a beautiful creation. We do offer elote en vaso also, milkshakes, tostilocos, so really like any Latino little fun snack and stuff.
I love
that.
Yeah. I've been here plenty of times before, and everything is so amazing. The taro one is probably my favorite.
The taro?
Sure, yeah.
Have you tried the avocado?
I have not.
Oh my God. Yeah. The avocado. So I know people get weirded out because it's like avocado, but it's actually creamy, like not too sweet. I personally like it with like lechera and coco.
Ooh,
it's so weird, but it's so good. So you should definitely, try it out.
I love lechera. I remember the first time I came, I asked the guy, like, do you have lechera?
Yeah.
And it definitely made it so much better.
Yeah, and we always try to like rotate flavors too. So like right now we have the mango fresa, so that one's a brand new one, and then we have the chocolate abuelita. Have you tried chocolate abuelita?
Oh, I have not, but
dude,
definitely.
Yeah, you gotta try that. It like literally tastes like a chocolate, like hot chocolate, but in a paleta.
Oh, I just had a abuelita abuelita coffee just down the street too.
Oh, so. yeah, definitely, you gotta try it.
What's the process kind of behind making these paletas?
So we make the paletas here fresh in-house, and really it's soup. It's like just a few ingredients, and that's the beauty of the paleta. So definitely you have to come try them out because it's a different texture, it's a different consistency than like paletas that you would get at the store. So literally it's just cream, sugar, and then whatever we're making the paleta out of. So like the chocolate abuelita, we literally put chocolate abuelita in there.
Oh, wow.
And then it's like our cream base that we use. And then we have our water paletas too, and that has like the whatever fruit it is. It's just like a fruit-based paleta, and then sometimes we put chamoy in them. And yeah, so it's very like limited ingredients, so it's all top quality product.
Yeah, I love that. I know you said you had like the water flavor ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the water base and then the cream based paletas, and obviously like the water base are really popular with like tajin and chamoy, so it's like more like traditional like Mexican paletas. And then you can put the fruta on it too, which is really good.
So good, yeah.
And then we make mangoneadas too. I don't know if you tried
mangoneadas. I love mangoneadas.
Yeah. So we make the mangoneadas here too. So yeah, there's all kinds of fun things that you can try. I feel like every time you come in, like you should try something different.
Exactly. There's endless amount of goodies. You guys have agua frescas.
Yeah, we have all the aguas frescas. So we rotate the flavors. I think right now we have piña colada, strawberry lemonade, and then orange pineapple. Mm-hmm.
I know last time there was a piña one. I think you had a limon one.
Pepino, yeah, you guys got, and then I did the tajin and chamoy in the cup. Mm-hmm. Was that good?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, because I normally just do one, like I do pepino with tajin and chamoy is really good. But yeah, I want to try the mix. That was creative. So I think you guys are the only ones that have ever done that.
Definitely try that. It's amazing.
The secret menu, this guy.
So what was the inspiration kind of behind starting the business and all of this?
Yeah, so Paleta Bar is actually a franchise. And they are based out of New Mexico. And I happen to go to one of the locations with my kids. And I love the concept. I love the product. Most importantly, I love the conversation that it encouraged me to have with my kids. Like after we left Paleta Bar, literally for like an hour, we talked about like the different flavored paletas and like the different things that we can make with the paleta, like how you can dip it, what toppings you can add. And it created that 1 hour conversation with them. And having teenage kids, like that doesn't really happen, you know? Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, like this could be so much more. Like it's an experience. Like that's how I want my customers to feel every time they come in here. Like I want them to feel like they had an experience here. And I just wanted to share that with California because this was in New Mexico. So I wanted to share that with California. So this was back in 2020, actually, when COVID was going on, and I just like loved it. And I don't know, like I just thought about it, and I had my job and everything, and I just kept thinking about like, oh, Paleta Bar, like how good Paleta Bar would do over here, and one day I just got brave, and then I just made that phone call, and then got the information. 2021, I purchased a franchise.
Oh wow! I'm glad you did that.
Yeah,
You really needed that
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Because I was gonna ask you too. I saw a couple different paleta bars, like LA and then Arizona.
Yeah, so they're in Hollywood. So
curious.
the only one in California is one in Hollywood, and then mine's the second one. And then yeah, they're all over Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Florida. I think they have them in Utah now too. So yeah, so it's a franchise. It's a small franchise, but it's rapidly growing.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so I was excited. I feel blessed that I was able to get the franchise when I got it, because I was able to purchase that area. So like Riverside County, San Diego County belongs to me now. So my goal,
nobody else can be.
So my goal is to expand and yeah, see more paleta bars popping up around town.
I mean, I'm sure all the paleta bars are amazing, but this one's probably the best
no,
one
for sure. This is a top one.
I know starting a business is a really big jump. It's kind of scary, like you said. What were some of like the things that you had to go through and the obstacles that you went through towards starting this business and getting to where you are today?
Yeah, so I had my regular job. I had never owned a business, so it was definitely an eye opener and a big learning experience for sure. So I purchased a franchise, and everything was smooth when I purchased it, and it seemed like I could do this, but there's so much that you just don't know, and a lot of things happen along the way, things that I wasn't expecting, and things that I had to learn, some of them the hard way. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful, along the way I met some people that were able to guide me through it. But yeah, so one of the big hurdles is finding a spot. So I wanted to find the right area for Paleta Bar. So I actually live in Temecula, and I wanted a Paleta Bar in Temecula. Okay. And I just couldn't find the right location for it. Like I just couldn't see it in other shopping centers. And then I came out here, randomly came to Wildomar. I never even would have imagined like coming out to Wildomar. I came out to Wildomar, and I was like, oh my God, like I just really like this spot. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. I actually was really sick that day that I came out here, and there's a sign up on the window. I called the number. It was really late at night. I called the number thinking like, I'm just gonna call it to save the number on my phone, and the guy actually answered. Oh, wow. And I was like, I was like, oh, I was not prepared for that. He actually happened to be the landlord. Oh, wow. And I had no idea. And I kind of told him what I was planning on doing, and he was like, okay, get your numbers together. Let's talk on Monday. This was maybe like on a Friday, Saturday. And sure enough, Monday he calls me. I give him the numbers. I tell him the plan, and he was like, okay, like let's talk. He happened to go to the location in Hollywood, because obviously Paleta Bar, people don't recognize the brand. So he went to the location in Hollywood, and he loved the concept too. And he was like, you know what, I think it would do great here. So this stranger that had never met me, literally we had, I don't know, a 15-minute conversation on the phone, believed in me. And whatever I told him, that whatever conversation we had at that moment, he believed in me, and he took a risk on me, and he leased out the spot for me. Wow. And yeah, so I'm so blessed. And he actually became one of my mentors. He ended up helping me because I don't know if you knew, but this space used to be a dentist office or like an ortho office. So they used to do like the fitting for braces. So when I came in, it's a full, like we had to do a full like remodeling in here. Yeah, like completely. Like it looked nothing like this at all. Yeah, nothing like this. So he guided me through like meeting with architects and then meeting with contractors. I had no idea. And one of the big things also is, as a woman, trying to hire contractors, it's mainly just men. some of these men weren't taking me seriously.
Yeah.
So that was, disappointing and at times discouraging, because it was like, like I'm trying to do something like legitimate, and they were just not taking me seriously. And so my landlord, like, he stepped in and he helped me out, and he was, he was like, put me in front of them, like, let's have this conversation. Eventually, like, I built that courage, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, then I had to like mark that line. But at the beginning, it was kind of intimidating, because like I didn't know, like, even like, the proper like way to ask certain questions, like the terminology of like construction and all that. So that was a little intimidating, but eventually I'm like, nah, like, you have to realize like who you are. And I'm like, at the end of the day, like, they're working for me. Like, they need this more than I need them.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I had to learn to turn that on. And yeah, and again, my landlord like guided me through all that. So I was really blessed. And like I said, I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason. And I feel like he was meant to guide me through that. You know what I mean? And that's the reason that I couldn't find the right spot, because this spot was the one that I needed to be at.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, they weren't really taking you seriously. I think that kind of helped you, develop and grow more as a person and as a business owner, and really like,
Definitely.
believe in yourself more.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially for like being like a Latina woman, like you said, a lot of the time these guys don't really take you seriously, but you showed them what's up. You made it happen.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, before I knew it, I was literally meeting with inspectors. So what happened, my contractor ended up delaying me. So my project was supposed to be like a 6 weeks project. And so I left my job in December, and I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on like, taking care of the business. Left my job in December. The building was supposed to be done by the end of December. I left my job the beginning of December. And I get here and there's nothing's done. Like, it's literally like nothing. So it was just so disappointing. And so what I ended up doing, I would literally show up every single day, make sure like the workers were here. I ended up becoming almost like a foreman, which is crazy, because then like I was scheduling like, all right, we got to schedule this, we got to schedule that, like based on like the inspectors. Like, I was learning a lot from like the inspectors from the city also. Like, he would take the time and explain to me. I didn't know like a screw had to be like so far apart from each other. Like, there's like rules and regulations for all this. I didn't know anything about coding. I didn't know any of that, but I quickly learned, because it's like, nobody's going to care about your business as much as you are. So you have to inform yourself as much as possible. And so I had to do it. I learned, I started meeting with the contractors, and before I knew it, like I'm telling you, I literally became like a foreman. I was scheduling things because my contractor wasn't showing up. So it's like, he obviously doesn't care like I care. Like, the urgency, like I have that sense of urgency, he doesn't. So I started hiring people and bringing people on, and I made it happen.
As somebody like who wants to start a business myself, that's very inspiring to hear.
Thank
you. How you like persevered through all that. You learned even though there were things that you didn't know. And you just made it happen.
Yeah, there's just so much that goes into opening a business. And honestly, like, my advice for anybody that wants to open a business, one, if you want it, do it, take it. Like, don't ever be intimidated or scared because of whatever, whether, you're young or you're a Latino or, whatever it might be. Like, no, like, if you want it badly enough, like, anybody can make things happen. Just be prepared to work, like work your butt off, because really, like, that's how it is. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. And I've, like, in my short period of time that I've been open, have already experienced that. Like, opening the business, like, I opened the business in the summer. So as having an ice cream business, summer, it's booming, right? It's great. And then quickly winter months come, and then you kind of like, oh shoot, like, I didn't prepare for this, right? So you really, like, you have to be prepared for the good times, for the bad times. Just stay focused and stay committed to it. And there's been days that I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know, did I bite more than I could chew? And I'm very blessed to have such an amazing group of friends and family that they're like, like, they believe in me and just like encourage me to keep going. And there's always like, literally, like, the day that you came in, like, I was having one of those days. And I don't know if I even told you that. Like, I was having one of those days, like just those days that I would start questioning myself, right? And I came in that day and I get the mail and I happen to have the certificate from Yelp. We were rated one of the top reviewed businesses in the area.
No
So I get the
way.
certificate from Yelp and I was like, oh my God, like I was just like so excited, right? Because it was just like, yeah. I'm like, we had just been open for like 6 months then. So I was like, oh my God, like it hasn't even been a year and we're like top rated in the area. And then literally maybe like 2 hours later, like you came in and you're like telling me about how like, you know, like I had inspired you and the whole thing. And I was just like, oh my God, like it's literally like, I feel like everything, there's always little things like coming at me that like, they're like, nope, you got this. You got this. Don't question yourself. Don't question what you've done or the decisions you've made. Like you're good. Like keep going. So yeah, so thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, no, but honestly, like you guys make a difference for me too. Like, you know, seeing people support me and having that encouragement from people like that people don't, I don't know if people understand like the difference that it makes as a business owner to have that encouragement and have that support from the community. Like it makes a huge difference. So I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course. I know you had mentioned kind of your previous job before. What did you do before, and then was starting a business kind of something that you've always wanted to do? Or?
Yeah, so I've always been in finance. Ever since I think I was like 19 years old. I did loan processing. I was working at a credit union, and when I opened the business, full-time banker. So I do everything from, and I said I do because I did go back, and I will get into that. So I left to focus on the business. And before I left, I was a full-time banker. So I did like new accounts, retirement accounts, loans anywhere from like credit card loans to mortgage loans, so and lending. So if you ever need any assistance, I'm your banker.
I know somebody.
Yeah, so I work for a local credit union. And I've always loved working for the credit union because I get to help the community. So I love that. And then I decided to open my own business. I've always wanted to be my own boss. I always wanted to have something to leave behind for my kids. That was always the goal. Ever since I was really young, like I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like I just knew I didn't know exactly what I wanted to sell, but I knew I wanted to sell something. I knew I wanted to be my own boss. And then when this happened, it was just like boom, 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 boom. Like everything just kind of fell into place, and I was able to purchase the franchise. But like I said, things didn't work out exactly like I wanted things to work out. So when I left, I was married, so I had the stability from my husband. Starting a business, it's a big risk that you're taking financially.
Oh, 100%.
So, but I had the stability from him. Unfortunately, a month after I left my job, he asked me for a divorce.
Oh.
So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So I feel like now, I feel like that had to happen to almost make my story better.
Yeah.
I feel like people belong in your life for a certain amount of time. Everybody has a purpose in your life. Definitely. And I feel like, he served his purpose in my life and he didn't belong in the new chapter of my life. And I feel like I needed that too, because it pushed me to do it even more. And it gave me that strength that I didn't think I had. And, I'm grateful for it. For sure, I'm grateful for it. So yeah, so I had to go back to work because I needed health insurance. I needed a little bit of the benefits. So I am working part-time at my current job, and then I still take care of the business. So I'm a busy mom.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
For sure.
Just like hearing you speak and your attitude towards whether it be good things or bad things, and you just keep going, you just keep a positive attitude.
I don't victimize myself. Absolutely not. Like I don't victimize myself. I think everybody goes through things in life, so I'm no different from anybody else. I have bad days. Other people have bad days. So my days are not worse than other people. So even on those really difficult days, it was like, no one's coming to save you, Karina. Like, what are you going to do? I was literally in the middle of the project, and it was like, I've been working so hard to get this. Like, that's not going to stop me. It almost just, like I said, pushed me to do it even more. It gave me that strength and that perseverance that I didn't know I had. So yeah, no, I'm grateful. I always approach things with a positive attitude, and that's the only way to go about it. Like, just it is what it is, and just keep pushing. Si se puede, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm just listening to you right now. Just oh my gosh, it's like you want to do all these things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, if somebody wants it hard enough, like you're gonna get it. Nothing worth having will ever come easy, and I have learned that, and I believe in that at 100%. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to make it this far, and this is just the beginning for me.
Oh, definitely. You guys are gonna. And Wildomar is such a up and coming community and city.
Yeah.
There's been so many new houses that
Yeah.
they're building, so many new businesses. So I'm sure within the next couple of months and
For
years,
sure.
it's gonna definitely be.
For sure, yeah. And I feel like that's why, you know, it was such a good, smart move in my end to end up in Wildomar, because there's so much potential here. So much potential. So many like young families coming in here. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And the community has been so welcoming.
Oh,
The city like has just been amazing, honestly. Like I have my regulars now all the time. So yeah, no, I'm grateful.
So you guys opened, I believe, late May.
Last week, yeah, last week of May.
What were the kind of like the emotions going through your head once you finally had that grand opening? You're like, oh my God, this is the reality. This is happening. Like everything that I worked so hard for, it's like it's here now.
Yeah, it was honestly so overwhelming. So that weekend, it was Memorial Day weekend, would have been my wedding anniversary, which was so weird. But so I was literally, it was like a roller coaster of like emotions, you know, like I was excited, and at the same time I'm like, I don't know how to feel right now. But no, definitely, like it was almost like I can take, you know, a deep breath and just enjoy the moment. But I was just so full of like appreciation and just feeling the love from everyone. It was so overwhelming. Like it was exhausting but overwhelming at the same time. And I was just so excited to finally like have my friends and family like see what I had been building and have them try the product that I've been bragging about. So I was so overwhelmed and just so happy and just excited to be able to share my creation with my friends and family.
Yeah, all your hard work.
Paid
off.
Yeah. And like literally like the beginning, like those first couple of days, like we were working from like 9 a.m. to like 10 p.m. for like a week. And I honestly don't even know where I got the energy, but every day I would come in here just with this same energy, like, all right, guys, let's do this. Like, it was just like such an adrenaline rush. Like, it was just so amazing. And then ribbon cutting happened. I honestly wasn't even expecting for the mayor of the city to show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was here. He like, like he was here. He presented me with a certificate. I mean, people from like all over, like City Hall, which was like, again, as a Latina from like the San Fernando Valley, I'm like this, like I was just so overwhelming and so surreal that like all these people are like out here, like for me, you know what I mean? Like I just did not even imagine that my ribbon cutting was going to be that huge. And so it was really, really nice.
Not only were you putting yourself on the map, but you're kind of representing all of us, all the Latinos, the Latinas, all these business owners.
Yeah.
I love that for you. Yeah. That's so cool.
And a lot of people still don't know, like, they don't know that, sorry, was on my phone? A lot of people don't know that I'm the owner, so it's funny, like, I have people come in here sometimes, and sometimes I correct them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just kind of let people believe what they want to believe, but, like, I've had people come in here and tell me, like, oh, you should tell your boss, you know, to release this flavor. And I'll be like, okay, I'll let the boss know. Or like, I had two older ladies the other day come in, and they were like, so who owns this place? And I was like, oh, I own it. And they're like, oh my God, we were thinking, you know, an old white male owned the place and just like, you know, put a Latino name on it. I was like, no, that's me. And they were so impressed. And that always gets me, like seeing people like react to like when I tell them like, oh no, I'm the owner. A lot of people assume that I'm the manager because I'm here all the time. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes I correct them. Sometimes I just kind of let them believe what they want to believe. My favorite is when I get Latina girls in here, especially like I had a group of girls a couple of days ago come in here. They were high schoolers, and so they're like, oh, have you been working here since like it opened? And so I told them, I'm like, actually, like, this is mine. And they were all kind of like, oh my God, like, this is your place, like, you're the owner. Like, they were like so amazed, and I love that because it's like, I hope they could see themselves in me, you know what I mean? Like, girl, if like I could do it, you can do it. Like, literally, as like cliche as that sounds, but like literally, like, I'm no one special. I just someone that wanted it bad enough to make it happen, and that's it.
And I love to see that so much. I just hope for like future generations that kind of starts changing. How you said you had those customers that like they thought it was like a white older guy, but now like I want us Latinos to start coming up more. It's pretty normal for us to start owning these businesses and having all these things.
Yeah, as we should, because we're more than capable of doing it. So definitely, I just feel like maybe because, I don't know, we are intimidated thinking that like we can't do it. I don't know, but I've always been the wild child in my family, so I've always been the one to take a risk, and yeah, I'm grateful that I did.
Sometimes that's all it takes, is taking that one risk and
do it. Yeah, definitely.
So you have, I mean, based on your attitude and everything, you pretty much have always been a boss lady, and so now that you are a boss, kind of what goes through your mind now? Because you said growing up, you kind of wanted to work for yourself. Now that you do work for yourself and you own this business, what's changed with your mindset? What goes on?
Honestly, it's just a lot of pressure. I feel like I have a lot of people depending on me, and so I definitely, like, as like goofy as I could be, and like, when it comes to work, when it comes to my business, like, I'm very serious and very motivated. So yeah, no, for sure. I feel like I have a lot of people depending on me. I feel like a lot of people, are looking up to me. So I definitely want to make sure that I make these people proud. So I come in here, I work my butt off. And even when I'm not here, I'm still working. I might be at home and I'm doing research on like other businesses that I can do collaborations with, because I do a lot of that too. Right now, like, I'm doing a lot of pop-ups. My main goal right now is growing the brand, growing the name. So it's like, who can I connect with so I can get more exposure? So yeah, so I'm just work, and that's what I do.
And then that pressure that you kind of say that you have, it's a privilege to have pressure like that means you're doing something great. You're reaching higher levels. You're doing
it's just more responsibility, for sure.
There's been bad times, there's been good times. What advice do you have for somebody that is wanting to jump into this new realm of starting a business and making something happen out of nothing? Yeah,
literally, like I said, if it's something that you want bad enough, you can make it happen. Educate yourself in whatever it is that you're wanting to get into, because even when you think you know, you don't know. There's just so much that goes into everything. And then just be ready, but be ready for the good, be ready for the bad, be prepared for anything that's to come. Be prepared to work, be prepared to not necessarily sleep every night or have those good 8 hours of sleep, because there's days that things will keep you up at night. But again, it's all part of the process. It's all part of becoming an entrepreneur, and at the end, it's worth it. And I'm still growing. I'm still learning. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I've made it yet. This is just the beginning for me, and my business has only been open for 8 months, so there's still so much that I'm yet to learn.
And I feel like once you kind of get to where you're at, you have this attitude where you don't feel like you're there yet, and you just need to continuously improve. Even though you're already up there, in your head you're like, I gotta just keep getting better, doing new things, learning.
Yeah, just educating yourself on so much. Yeah, for sure.
So how does it feel to be essentially like a role model for your community? You prove that us Latinos can do it, but especially for like the young Latina woman that have like ambitions and higher goals to do something like this.
It's honestly like the biggest compliment for me. If I can make a difference in somebody's life, if I can aspire or inspire someone to do something, whatever it is, out of their comfort zone, like, to me, like, I've already made it. Honestly, like, I've always felt like everybody has a purpose. So I've always felt like my purpose was to help people, right? So, and I've always been in finance, so I've always thought like that's how I'm helping people. So when I was getting ready to leave my job, I was like, well, what am I gonna do now? Like, how am I gonna inspire people? How am I gonna help people, right? What's my purpose now? I'm like, I'm selling paletas. Like, what's my purpose in selling paletas? And then I quickly realized, like, my new purpose is to inspire girls, to inspire women. Literally, like, I'm a Latina, single mom. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. So, and I get people in here that literally tell me all the time that I'm inspiring them, that, you know, they're like, oh my God, like, I've been wanting to do this, and, you know, I've been intimidated by it. I'm like, do it. So if I can make a difference in someone's life, like, and that's why I'm so raw with my story also. Like, I don't keep things. I'm very open with people, because I feel like if me sharing my story with people, the good and the bad, if it's gonna make a difference in someone's life, like, good, I've made it. You know what I mean? That, to me, that means everything to me.
Yeah, you're honest. You show like the sides that sometimes people don't want to hear about or see. Even though,
but it's so relatable, and you just, because you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to put on a smile, and, you know, people would look at me and be like, oh, she has it so easy and whatever. No, things haven't been easy, but I choose to wake up every day with a positive attitude, and it's a choice. It's a choice that you have to make. Like, how are you going to approach today? And to me, every day I'm going to approach it with on a positive side, because, like I said, no one's here to save me. Like, I got to make things happen for myself.
Exactly. There's like a lot of things kind of behind the scenes in people's lives that sometimes we don't realize. And it's like sometimes they'll hide really what's going on, or what they're going through. So,
and I feel like everybody's going through something at some point, you know what I mean? And I think if we spoke more about it, it would be so good for each other. Like, we can help each other in so many ways if we were just more vulnerable with one another.
That would kind of help everybody too, you know? Because sometimes you feel like you're the only one going through things, but when in reality, you're not alone. There's somebody going through the exact same thing as you.
Exactly.
And then same thing too, sometimes like people don't think someone's going through something, and then they can be having like a really bad day. Or like,
and then you can actually make a difference in their life. Like, you just never know. So yeah, for sure. I am very open with people. I don't have a problem sharing my story, and, you know, I hope it inspires someone and it makes a difference in someone's life.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure listening to this, people are going to be so amazed, inspired, and just love hearing like your honesty and just how you done all of this.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you mentioned you're a single mother and you have kids. Do you want to talk about them a little bit?
Yeah. So I have two kids. 18-year-old daughter, Giselle. And she's going to hate me for saying her name.
Is this her last year of high school?
Yeah, she's a senior. Wow. Yeah, so she'll be going off to culinary school when she graduates. So she'll be doing her own thing in LA. And then I have a 13-year-old son, or he'll be 13 at the end of the month, actually. So happy birthday, Jaden, because his birthday's on the 19th.
Oh, shout out to you, Jaden.
Yeah. So he's going to be a teenager. And he wants to be an actor. So,
okay. Yeah.
So he's my little character. So yeah, so they're literally, I call them my flashlights, because during my darkest times, like, they're my light. Like, you know, I was guided by them, and they don't even know that, but literally, like, I would get up every morning because of them, and everything that I do is for them. So yeah, so they're my little flashlights. Yeah.
How is it managing, you know, you have your part-time job, you have your business, and then you also have your children? What is kind of that situation?
Honestly, they are so good. They're so good. My daughter has stepped up, you know, and kind of has helped me so much. And my son, even though he's only 12, he's so mature for his age, and they know how hard mom is working. So they encourage me, and I know things are taken care of at home. And sometimes you'll see them working in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll come in here, they'll work. Jaden loves coming in here and bragging about how he's the owner.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so he'll be in here sometimes, like in the summer, I'll bring him out here. Yeah, I definitely I want them to see what goes behind the scenes also, and I want them to never take things for granted, because nothing's ever going to just be handed to you. So yeah, so I'll bring them in here and put them to work.
Oh man, they're so fortunate to have such an amazing mother to give them these opportunities, give them these life lessons, and it's gonna really benefit them.
Yeah, I hope
for
so.
the rest of their life.
Yeah, I hope so.
What was life like or life for you growing up? You know, where are you from? Where's your family from?
So my family is from Guadalajara, Jalisco.
Oh, okay, mine too.
Really?
Yeah,
Tapatio, yes. But I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, like I said. I come from a huge family, humble beginnings. My dad worked in construction, and I am the baby of 7 kids.
Oh, wow.
So huge family. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. So we definitely had really difficult times. When it would rain, my dad didn't work, and we had to figure it out. But I never saw my parents again, victimize themselves, or it was kind of okay, we don't have money, but we have to feed our kids. What are we gonna do? So they made it happen. I never not had food. You know what I mean? My dad always made it happen. So I feel with that, that taught me so much. Never give up, and never victimize, and never expect for things to be handed to you. So always be willing to work. And my dad, literally, he is the hardest working man that I know. And my mom has always been just such a support to my dad, and has been such a great mom, so involved with us always. She was always there, making sure there was always food for us. And forever I'll be grateful for that, for the way that I was brought up, because they taught us the true meaning of hard work and dedication, for sure.
Are your parents, are you first generation?
So I was actually born in Mexico.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So I was actually born in Mexico. So I came to the U.S., I was probably 3 years old. So yeah, so I'm a Latina immigrant single mom.
Wow.
So literally all odds against me, and I'm here, guys.
Were you born in Tapatio or?
In Guadalajara. Yeah. So I'm a Tapatio for
Hey, I didn't even know that. Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
You're definitely somebody that's very proud of your culture, your people, and where you come from. How big of an emphasis on being a Latina has it been on your life?
Yeah, so honestly, I carry that, being proud of my culture, being proud to be Mexican, being proud of being a Latina. I brag about it any chance I get, for sure. And that was one of the big reasons that I wanted to open Paleta Bar also, because I feel like the Latino culture wasn't represented enough out here, especially Southern California. I feel the stuff that's out there as a representation of Latino paletas, ice cream, whatever, it's very basic. And I wanted to be able to show that our culture could be so much more. Yes, we have this, but it could be elevated. We're so much more than just tacos and burritos. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I wanted to be able to have a little more of a representation of even though we're Latinos, we can be, we can be a little fancy.
Yeah, a little bit fancy.
So that was a big inspiration for me wanting to open Paleta Bar also.
That's definitely what this community needed too. We needed something. We have La Michoacana.
And I didn't want to say the name, but yeah.
But what you guys bring is just something so, kind of unique, something different.
Yeah.
Something that really.
And it's just you take it to another level with us.
Exactly.
Not just because it's my shop, but it's true. It really is true. You have to come out and check it out for yourself.
Yeah. Now, if you're ever in the Wildomar, Clinton Keith area, even if you're not from here,
come out. It's worth it. It's worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. Yeah.
I know. The podcast, really the emphasis is kind of supporting one another, us Latinos, wanting to see each other succeed and grow, take those risks, take the next step, whether it be starting a business like you did, going to school, really just breaking away from the norm. I think you're like the perfect example
Thank you.
of like that. Like, you went through a roller coaster of a journey and you're still going through it, and you're making us and our people proud.
Thank you.
And you're very supportive too of all of us. I know.
Yeah.
I just came in, talked to you a little bit, brought you that shirt, and you're always like posting, showing love and support.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love seeing young people, young Latinos, like, going out of your comfort zone and wanting to put yourself out there like that, like I'm telling you, you inspire me too. Like, we need the young to get out there and represent us. So I love that. You guys are putting in the work also, so I appreciate it. And I'm always going to support anyone that comes in here. Honestly, if you have anything that you want me to support, come in here. I will definitely hear you out. And even if we got to sit down, have a conversation, or even if you just want to talk to me, whatever it is, like if I can make a difference, if I can help anyone in any way, like come in here. Like, I'm big on sponsoring, like fundraising, anything, like whatever I can do to help. Yeah.
I love that. Like, your just openness to helping other people.
That brings me so much joy, honestly. It brings me so much joy being able to help other people. So if I have the capability of doing it, I'm always gonna welcome that with open arms.
Like, you have the Paleta Bar, serving the community already with all the good snacks and foods and paletas, but just your presence alone is doing so much too. It's amazing to see.
Thank you.
Glad to have you in the area for sure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, I really do.
So I think it's going to be probably a wrap for today's episode.
Okay.
I really want to thank you. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day. I know you just finished your long day of work. You're tired. You want to go home, but you took the time to sit down.
No, I was looking forward to this, honestly. Like, ever since I spoke to you, like I love, like I said, I just love talking to young Latinos and seeing you, how motivated you are to get this podcast going. So whatever I can do to help, like, you have my support 100%.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Maybe in the future we'll collaborate even more.
We will do another collaboration, because we're both just starting. But once we blow up, we gotta meet back up again.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. When you have like your thousands of followers, and when I'm like opening my second Paleta Bar, like we're gonna rewind this and record again.
Even though you're a little bit more of a celebrity than I am right now, I'll try to catch up and meet you up there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate you, honestly.
Thank you so much. You guys, the Paleta Bar has an Instagram.
Yes.
It's at the Paleta Bar Wildomar.
Wildomar.
So definitely go and give them a follow. Come check them out. They're right here in Wildomar, Clinton Keith. They have some of the best paletas, snacks, all that. It's absolutely amazing. Not only the food, but the owner herself. She has such a great attitude and such a wonderful person.
Come say hi and tell me, like, hey, I saw you on the podcast. I would love to hear what people have to say. Yeah.
You can watch the podcast or listen to the podcast on Spotify. You can watch us on YouTube. But yeah, you can also follow the Sigue Adelante podcast on Instagram. But that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much again, Karina.
Thank you, Caesar. You're amazing.
You are. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.